Hey, good afternoon, everybody. Some of you, my friends, may be picking up that lately I've been posting more about music. Been been playing, singing a little more, a lot of open jams. There may be some announcements coming, but this post is not about me and my amateur level music. I would like to do a heartfelt reach out on behalf of high level professional and high level amateur musicians who are actively gigging and maybe really making a living this way, especially those who have really put it all on the line to develop their craft to the point of just exquisite enjoyment by the audience. All right. So, first of all, let's understand the actual practical terms, some of the economic contributions that they make. So, I live up here in Asheville, and I get to different places. But when you are thinking about going somewhere, Asheville, for example, recovering from Hurricane Helene, and you know that there are multiple really good music venues with local musicians to go to, you're more likely to circulate those tourism dollars, and that economy is going to benefit from that. And in general, financial circulation is a benefit economically. And so if you thought, well, I'm going to go to this place, but there are no venues that have live music, you'd be less inclined to go there. So these folks that are putting themselves on the line are really an attractant to a vibrant community. Secondly, the folks that live there are more likely to go out and about if there's a reason to. And that reason might be a band that they enjoy. Maybe instead of sitting home, they're going to be out and about, spending a little money, keeping the machine going, creating employment, all of these things. And we don't always think of music in practical terms, but I'd invite you to do so as you think about what I'm about to say to you. But of course, let's not forget the love, the joy, all the things that music as an art brings to us and how incalculably valuable that is. The fact that you come together with friends, the fact that you do go out, the fact that it elevates your mood. You've had a bad day, but you hear somebody playing a song you really love, and your mood goes up. This is you can't even generate an estimate of this kind of cost. So let's keep that in mind. And now let's look at how these musicians actually make a living. So when you go to a brewery or a small venue, let's say there's no ticket sales. They may be getting a few $100 from the venue just to be there. And then everything else, of course, is their tips and any items that they can sell while they're there. All right, so let's think about what went into them being able to even have that return on investment. They had to learn their craft over years. Maybe in school, maybe private lessons, maybe self-taught, but it took a long time to develop to the point that they had a good enough show to present to you. And now, like all of us, education, training, job experience, we're trying to get return on investment for the time of our lives we spent there. And they're doing the same thing. The performer will have to have bought their instruments, provided their gear, their amplifiers, their mixing boards, all that stuff that goes, and that's a big investment, especially for these smaller acts that may not be established yet. They may be mortgaging themselves or deciding between rent and many other things as they try to make a living and get to a higher echelon. If you see them having a record or a CD there, they probably had to pay some significant studio and engineering fees. They may have had to pay a background band to play along with them, and then the cost of that hard media itself to buy it and extend it. And these folks, again, they'd be mortgaging themselves just on the hopes that the audience is going to recognize that and buy it. The tips are a separate source of income, and the non-media merchandise, the t-shirts, the caps, all that are different venues, different swim lanes by which they can get paid. And all of those would matter. So I'd invite you to think about, okay, maybe you're not buying a ticket or it's a $5 ticket. And that's not based on how good they are. That's based on the size of the venue and the amount of fans they might draw. But if you really enjoyed the show, you might ask yourself, gosh, I might have paid $80 for for a ticket in a big auditorium. Where did I actually have as good a time, the better time? And maybe the big star, it gives you a better time, but maybe it was only half as much a good time. And maybe you could think about your tipping commensurate to the ticket you might have bought. And let that be your tip, okay? Let that be your tip. And then ask yourself, but do I want to continue the experience? Do I want to listen to CD on my way home? My car still has a CD player. And I intend for my car to always have a CD player because I don't like being dependent on whether I got signal and all this stuff. Sometimes I want to pop in, the band that's in my head, I want to listen to it. So I hope I always have a CD player. I got a vinyl record player at home. And yeah, streaming's easier, but there's something really nice about putting that needle down on an old vinyl record or a new vinyl record. Maybe you don't have either of those media to play it. Maybe somebody you know does, and that might be a good opportunity, both buy a gift to give to someone and also a way to introduce someone else to music that they might enjoy, and that's a real gift there. So when you see that media at the table, I'll just encourage you to think about, well, I've tipped, that was my ticket. That was the ticket price or the balance of the ticket price. The media is a gift that keeps giving. And then if you buy the t-shirt, great also, because you're proud of the band. I love my band caps and t-shirts and stuff because I want to say I really enjoy these guys. And sometimes people say, who is that? And I'm like, oh man, you should listen to this band. So let's get to the streaming, right? Please don't fool yourself into thinking because you listen to your favorite band on Spotify or Amazon or whatever that you're supporting the band. They are getting less than pennies, like a tenth of a penny or 3/10 to 5/10 of a penny per stream. So if they're a small band, you'd have to listen to them thousands of times. You listen for your convenience, but to support your local music, you tip and you buy. And one other thing, when you're there, make a big deal to the bartender, the manager, the owner, the feedback that you went to that venue and spent your money on the drinks or the food or entry fee, whatever, because that musician, that group that was performing is why you were there. And then that venue will say, well, gosh, maybe we need to keep booking these folks, or maybe we need to keep booking live music in general. Maybe are we getting as a bar, as a brewery, whatever, our return on investment? Well, if you let them know that the only reason you were there and spent your $50 on food and drink was because you came to see the band, then you're supporting them in yet another way. And be vocal about it. I walk up and I'm like, hey, I want you to know I'm here because they're great, and I came here specifically for that. Please tell your manager. I have no holds barred about telling it. So maybe just try that if you really enjoy the music and appreciate the product and the people. So there's that. I have the benefit. I'm 56 years old. I've got my own, career outside of music. If I make music, I just get to do it because I enjoy making music with people, because it's a way to express myself, and I don't have to depend on it for a living. So I'm fortunate in that way. So again, I'm speaking on behalf of all those hardworking, gigging amateur musicians, or well, I guess they're professional, but I guess what I'm saying is folks who still have their day job but are gigging at night and practicing at night, and the folks who are making this their full-time career and really counting on, if you enjoy them and you appreciate their work, you letting them know, and quite frankly, through some dollars, okay? Thanks for listening, and rock on. Peace out, everybody.